Shadow Ho-Oh is getting its own raid day in Pokemon Go, and there is a big remote raid change that makes this event a must play. And in this video, I will be going through all of the details and tips, including the best counters for Shadow Ho-Oh. So the event takes place on January 19th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time. For the bonuses, Shadow Ho-Oh will be appearing more frequently in Shadow Raids, and these raids will be resetting every 30 minutes. You will be able to receive up to 5 free raid passes from spinning gyms, and these will be additional to the daily free raid pass, the extra one you get for the seasonal bonus, and you can save one from the day before, so you can get a total of 8 for the day. When encountered from these raids, Shadow Ho-Oh will have a 1 in 10 chance of being shiny, and you will also be able to get the legacy move Sacred Fire on any of your Ho-Oh by using a regular charge TM instead of an elite charge TM during the 3 hours of this event. And here comes the best part. For the first time in Pokemon Go, you will be able to use remote raid passes to join Shadow Raids during the Fashion Week Takeover and Ho-Oh Raid Day events. So this includes any Shadow Raid bosses that are available during the Fashion Week Takeover event, including the Shadow Ho-Oh raids for this raid day. And the remote raid limit will increase to 20 from January 18th at 4 PM until January 19th at 7 PM PST. And the normal IV floor for Shadow Raids is 666. But during the Fashion Week and Shadow Ho-Oh Raid Day events, this will be changing. For 1 and 3 star Shadow Raids, they will have a broader range of stats. This normally means they will have no IV floor, which would be helpful for those that want low attack IVs for Go Battle League. And for 5-star Shadow Raids, the IV floor will be increased. Niantic haven't stated by how much, but it will most likely be increased to 10-10-10, which is the same as regular raids. And this does mean the potential for Shundos has been increased by quite a bit, especially because when purifying, you gain +2 IVs for each stat. So this really is going to improve accessibility and make the event a lot more fun for everyone. And later on in the video, I will go through the potential changes this could lead to in the future. So during the raid day, you do also have the option of purchasing a $5 ticket, and this will get you 8 additional free raid passes from spinning gyms. You'll have an increased chance of getting Rare Candy XL from raids, and you'll get 50% more XP and 2 times Stardust from raids. These effects will be active between 2 PM and 10 PM on the day. But is the ticket actually worth purchasing? So I would say yes if you plan to raid more than 6 or 7 raids on the day, because if so, the additional 8 raid passes you get plus the bonuses for $5 isn't a bad deal in terms of value for the tickets. And with remote raiding now being available for Shadow Ho-Oh raids, it does mean you will be able to get more use out of these tickets, especially if you live in an area with small or non-existent community. You will be able to use these passes in person to invite other people to help you beat the raid. It is worth noting though that you may find better raid pass value in bundles in the in-game shop, and the green premium battle passes do have more value than the orange ones that you get from this ticket, because you can use them in Go Battle League as well as raids, and they won't expire either. So that's something to bear in mind. And whilst the extra 8 orange raid passes you get from this ticket will expire, they won't expire until 10 PM, whereas the others that you get for free on raid day will expire when the event ends at 5 PM. This means you could use the extra raid passes from the ticket to raid Pokemon in person after the Shadow Ho-Oh raids end at 5 PM. So I will be getting into how good Shadow Ho-Oh is and how good it is with Sacred Fire in particular. But first, what are the best counters for it? So Shadow Ho-Oh will have a raid CP of 50,064, and the 100% IVs to look out for will be 2207 and 2759 boosted in sunny or windy weather. Being a fire and flying type, it is weak to water, electric, and it has a double weakness to rock type attacks. Therefore, the best mega counters are Diancie, Tyranitar, Aerodactyl, Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Aggron. The best shadow counters are Rampardos, Rhyperior, Gigalith, Tyranitar, Aggron, and Aerodactyl. The best legendary and Ultra Beast counters are Terrakion, Landorus Incarnate, and Stakataka. And if you don't have many of these, here are some budget options that will be easier to obtain and easier to power up. So the best budget options will be Rampardos, Tyrantrum, Rhyperior, Gigalith, Tyranitar, and Aggron. Having the double rock weakness will help a lot with this raid, but it will still take 3 or 4 plus trainers to beat without purified gems. But this will be reduced if you use purified gems. You can get these gems by combining 4 shadow shards that you can collect from beating Team Go Rocket grunts, leaders Giovanni, and shadow raids. You can hold up to 10 purified gems, but you can only use up to 5 in a raid, and you do need 8 to subdue the raid boss, so you will need someone to help you to do this. Getting these purified gems will actually be easier for this raid day because Team Go Rocket are appearing more frequently in balloons and at Pokestops because of the Team Go Rocket takeover that's happening at the same time. And also make sure to party up with others if you can, so you can use party power to make the raid easier. With that said though, is Shadow Ho-Oh even worth raiding? Well, it is the 19th best flying type attacker and the 11th best fire type attacker. And in Go Battle League, Shadow Ho-Oh is ranked 11 and ranked 8 as a non-shadow, so generally it is a really strong Pokemon to have, and it is worth noting that it does want legacy move Sacred Fire to be at its best, so even if you don't do any raids during the time of this event, I highly recommend using charge TMs to get Sacred Fire for your Ho-Oh. And luckily, because this raid day is taking place during the Team Go Rocket takeover, you will be able to remove Frustration from Ho-Oh to get this move. And if you are looking for ways to get charge TMs, you can get them from 3-star raids or higher. You can also get them from Go Battle League win rewards and from Pokestop showcases if you rank highly, but generally raids are the best option. So with that in mind, I would definitely say this raid day is worth doing because Shadow Ho-Oh is an all-round solid Pokemon to have. And with the increased accessibility from the remote raiding, it really is going to help you get enough people to take these raids down. And there is no guarantee we will be able to remote shadow raids again in the future, so it's really worth trying to take advantage of this now. And on the topic of remote raid changes, what does this mean for Pokemon Go going forward? Well, firstly, these changes are only for these events for now, but it could open the door for Niantic to either allow us to remote shadow raids for other specific events in the future, or it's possible if it's really successful, they might even allow us to remote raid shadow raids permanently, but that is less likely. However, allowing us to remote raid 5-star shadow raids at all is a big W, and it's especially beneficial for those that have disabilities, those that live in dangerous areas, or those that live rurally and don't have a community to raid with in person. And because of these changes, there is a possibility at some point we may even see events that allow us to remote into Dynamax and Gigantamax raids, and this would be a welcome change for many, especially with how many people you realistically need to do these Gigantamax battles. So if you are going to be taking advantage of remote raids for this event, how can you find people to raid with? Well, it's always worth joining global Discord and Facebook Messenger groups to try and find people that'll add you, and I also will be adding members on the channel. Also, you can always use Niantic Campfire to host a raid and invite people, or join a raid remotely yourself. Alternatively, you could use apps like Pokegenie as well. And with that said, how can you maximize the candy that you get from Shadow Ho-Oh raids? So using peanut berries when catching Ho-Oh will get you double candy, and you can use Mega Evolution to get even more, but for raid caught Pokemon it actually works a little bit different than it does for Pokemon caught in other ways. So normally you want to Mega Evolve a Pokemon that shares a type with the Pokemon you're catching to get more candy, Candy XL and XP. But for Pokemon caught from raids, you will still be able to get bonus candy even if you Mega Evolve a Pokemon that doesn't share a type with Ho-Oh in this case. However, if you do want more Candy XL for Ho-Oh, then the Mega Evolve Pokemon does need to share a typing. And as Ho-Oh is a fire and flying type, you can Mega Evolve Charizard, Pidgeot, Pinsir, Aerodactyl, Houndoom, Blaziken, Salamence, Rayquaza or Revert Groudon. So Mega Evolving one of these is recommended so you can get the extra chance for Candy XL, but if you don't have any of these Pokemon, then just Mega Evolve anything you've got so you can get the bonus candy. And remember to Mega Evolve something that is at the max Mega level so you can get more candy, XP and chance for Candy XL. And it does get even better for your Ho-Oh Candy XL gains. This Shadow Ho-Oh raid day will actually be taking place at the same time as Fashion Week, and one of the bonuses for Fashion Week is 2x chance for Candy XL. So this will be active during raid day so you can get extra Candy XL for your Shadow Ho-Oh catches. And not only that, but Fashion Week does also supply us with a 2x catch Stardust bonus, which will be active during the raid day as well. So it's a good chance to grind some wild Pokemon catches in between your raids, and if you do have an auto catcher, you could set it to catch whilst you're raiding so you can pick up some extra Stardust and XP whilst you're busy raiding. And with that said, if you did enjoy this video, then I recommend checking out these videos on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.